Hey everybody, welcome back. I don't know, this might be episode 79.
I think it's actually 80.
I think it's 80.
I think it's 80.
I think we're episode 80 right now.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Not sure.
So let's start to the right with the introductions, or your left.
Mark Herman, a.k.a. LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the Bengals.
Dave Green, BengalsGuy.
Jan David Sutar, Ravens Nation.
Gabriel Bellotti, Steelers Country, baby.
Awesome.
All
right, so myself and Gabe, we were on buys this week. These guys had games, so let's start with Mark right there and see what they got going on.
Well, I did a recap for you after the game, so I won't reiterate what I said there other than the fact that, I mean, once again, we lose the game at halftime. We come into a game with absolutely no game plan on how to best utilize our guys with the skill set they have. We have a crappy offensive line. We need to come in with some game plan. Once again, absolutely no coaching. We had the benefit this week of no Jeremy Hill because he was a scratch because of an ankle injury, I think it was. So Mixon did play. Mixon did score a touchdown. That was a plus. But you're sitting there, I mean, runs on first down. We were in 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 10 the entire game. And once again, when you have offensive line issues, that's not a game plan for success. Nothing's going to change until this coaching staff is gone. It's that simple. Ogbuehi, I'm going to take a couple minutes and just talk about what a piece of shit he is. This guy isn't even suitable to be a backup on anybody's team, more or less a starter. There is footage, I think I tweeted it out, I can put it on AFC Northerners Facebook page. Literally, there's a clip of him letting his guy go by him, Andy Dalton taken out. He doesn't even walk over and help Andy Dalton up. He just turns around and walks back towards where the huddle's gonna be. What a piece of shit. He has no remorse. He doesn't care that he's not doing a good job. We get him out of the lineup. I would rather have somebody with less physical skills who actually wants to improve and get better. So this guy's a detriment to the team. Get him out of the lineup. That's my bit on Buehi. And my last thing I want to talk about is AJ Green. AB stepped up and first of all, he got his money's worth. You know, it's one thing for Perfect to sit out 3 games for nothing. He got his money's worth, and he didn't even get the suspension, and rightfully so.
Yeah, no, not rightfully so. Dude, he choked a dude.
Are you gonna let me fucking finish? Rightfully so. Jalen Ramsey had been warned throughout the game. There was no less than 5 incidents where he tried to take out AJ Green's knees throughout the game. And the guy is sitting there making slurs about AJ Green's dead brother the whole time. Okay? And at what point, I have a question. At what point, we had the bullying incident in Miami. At what point does this become a workplace issue? I do expert witness work. I spend a lot of my time in the courtroom. I can't imagine when I'm called to testify walking past opposing counsel and having comments made about my mother before I take the stand. Give me any other workplace where that would be an acceptable environment to earn your living. It's not. So, like I said, I think the NFL looked at AJ Green, who's never even had a personal foul called on him in his entire career. He's not on Twitter. He's never had an off-the-field issue. This is a stand-up guy, and that's why people like AB, there was a huge amount of support that chimed in and said, hey, we are not seeing everything. You're just seeing a microcosm of what went on during the game. So that's all I have to say. Like I said, at what point does stuff like Jalen Ramsey's doing, at what point does that become a workplace issue? And AJ Green's too much of a stand-up guy to bring it up, but someone, much like, I can't remember the guy's name on Miami, the guard who felt he was being bullied, until somebody steps up and says something, and this becomes a labor issue, because this is your workplace. So that's all I've got to say. I'll recap I'll give a couple bits of news with my Tennessee preview. That's it.
Excellent. All right, and let's move right on over to the guy who had another game this week. Let's go right here with Jen.
All right, honestly, go back and watch Jose's, one of our other AFC Northerners, our RavensGuy. His whole take was really informative, really good. I can't disagree with anything he said, with the exception of one thing. The interception that Joe Flacco threw that was supposed to go to, it looked like either Perryman or Macklin. If you're looking at this play from one angle, it looks like he threw a really bad interception. However, whenever you get the above view, when you look at the Skycam view, you see something, and that is that Macklin screwed up big. Macklin literally screwed up big. It was a toss that was supposed to go through, and it wasn't meant for Perryman. It was meant for Macklin. However, Macklin ran the route wrong. He wasn't there on time, and it's kind of clear whenever you look at it that Marty Morningweg, whenever he called this play, he assumed that Macklin would know the direct route that he needed to go, and he just didn't. So, with the exception of that one thing, like, go back, watch Jose's thing. I don't want to recap everything he just said because he did a great job of it. But I will disagree with that one point. I do think that was, I can't put that throw, as much as I'm not Wacko for Flacco, I could not put that throw on him. That throw, that interception, that's on Macklin for not being there where he needed to be. Other than that, it was, I mean, we came back in the second half. It was a lot better. Our defense did everything they could. We have a horrible offense, even with Wallace and Macklin in there. Like, Perryman now has, I think, more interceptions than catches. It's ridiculous. He's a bust. Perryman is officially a bust. It'd be interesting to see where the season goes from here. I don't have a lot of high hopes. Maybe we'll finish 500. Who knows? It's a bye week, so it's interesting. All right,
so we had buys.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to discuss?
Yeah, you know what? I'll say that I'm happy about our buy. The reason why I say that is because, as Tomlin said earlier this week, there's never been a buy he hasn't gone into that he hasn't been happy about, or that hasn't been needed. Because, of course, we have some people that were injured that needed that extra rest, that have a good chance of actually coming back this week. Some people that got injured in the Lions game. And the biggest thing is that nobody got in trouble over the bye. And I think that's what I mean by I'm happy about the buys. Because you never know. You never know.
Well, you guys did win the bye.
We won the bye! Yay! Well, actually, we did win the bye because the Ravens and Bengals lost. So, you know, that puts the Steelers up ahead a little bit still in the division. And you know, I think that I also like the bye week because any kind of the bugs and the kinks, especially I like having a mid-season bye week because after 8 weeks, you get to see the kind of kinks and the bugs that you have going on in your offense and your defense, and you get a chance to really work those out. And I was watching Tomlin's press conference the other day. I think it was yesterday or Monday, whatever day it was, his press conference was, about the bye week, and he was talking about some of the kinks that we have right now, especially with the run defense and with some of the O-line and stuff like that. But I think it was a good bye week, and I think and also the fact that the team is really close. I mentioned this in my thing for their bye week. They like to get together and go out and do things, like they went to Dave and Buster's and show that like they're kind of a family. So they made me proud.
All right, cool.
And you kind of had quelled down the Martavius Bryant story.
We'll see what happens.
Supposedly is back practicing with the starters.
He is. No, he's gonna play. They said that he's gonna play in the Colts game, but we'll see what his attitude is. I mean, if the Steelers don't really like to deal with divas. Like, I mean,
no team does. And you know what? He's out of the headlines for now. You had a week off where it wasn't the lead story every week. Exactly. It was Tomlin being asked questions about.
Now it's just Roger Goodell getting subpoenaed for Colin Kaepernick.
So, right? There you go.
All
right, Brown stuff. Yeah, there's the botched McCarron deal that I think was on both sides of it, that it was botched, whatnot. You can't start a trade late in the process and expect to get something accomplished an hour, minutes before the deadline. So
what do you think of the rumor that Sashi Brown tried to sabotage it?
Did you watch the press
conference? I did, but that doesn't mean I believe it.
The problem is every trade that Sashi Brown has done has been just a regular trade without a deadline, so you have 15 days to clean up your paperwork. Okay, this is a deadline, so there's a specific protocol that you have to follow. That's both teams have to independently notify the league. Bengals did, Sashi Brown didn't. He notified the Bengals. That's not the protocol. And you're right. When you're 6 minutes before the deadline, you got to know what the fuck you're doing, and he's never done it.
Yeah.
Because he pointed back to other trades they had done,
lesson learned.
But the other trades didn't have a deadline.
Yeah,
15 days.
It's a lesson learned. Either which way, we save a second and a third-round pick for a guy who went in the 5th round. So we didn't lose those picks. And McCarron's filing a grievance against the Bengals.
I'll cover that with my preview.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool.
And then, that's pretty much about it. Peppers is coming back. We're getting Garrett back.
Yeah.
Coleman will come back week 11. Gordon's been reinstated. And to the best run defense on this couch. We're number 4 in the league. We're giving up 84.2 yards a game. And just so you guys know, Pittsburgh's at number 14 at 106. Yeah. Cincy's at number 20 at 116. And our beloved Baltimore Ravens are bringing up the rear end on it at number 29 with over 100.
Thanks for the O-line. Thanks for the offensive line, guys.
I'm just kind of curious, how many, that number, that high ranking on the defense, how many wins is that translated to?
Yeah.
4 losses by 3 points or less.
How many wins? The answer is 0. Thank you. The other question I wanted to ask you was, why don't the Browns pick up Colin Kaepernick? It's twofold. You keep him away from Houston. You have Houston's first rounder next year. Yeah. It behooves you to have Houston as low as possible.
This has nothing to do with. This has nothing to do with. It's. I kind of think there's a whole collusion thing going on.
But I'm just saying, but the Browns could help themselves in 2 ways by signing Colin Kaepernick.
Because nobody wants to enter the.
All right. Wait. Let the Browns guy say something here.
Go for it.
He doesn't help us out. Period. The point is to develop Kaiser. If we continue to flip-flop on the quarterbacks, we're going to develop no rhythm.
I didn't say play him. I said sign him. The idea is that you keep Houston's pick as high as possible. You paid $18 million for a second-round pick to get, and you're paying right now. You're paying $900,000 a week for Brock Osweiler to play for Denver.
And we've got more cap space than you 3 teams combined.
I understand that. You're missing the point.
We were mandated by the NFL to spend that money.
Keeping Houston with as few wins as possible, so your first round is
as
good as possible.
Although I will say that there's a beautiful irony. If Houston has to wind up signing Kaepernick with the Texans owner, that is like icing on the cake.
That's why he's not signing in Houston.
No, he will. I have a feeling
he's going to get Houston.
Absolutely.
One more bad week.
Collusion. You think after
I think that really the pressure's on, right?
And you're going to sign a guy who hasn't played in how long?
It's not that
doesn't matter. I mean,
they're trying to salvage.
Remember that when we talked about Gordon being reinstated and playing in that first game.
I love. This is a what if, like a huge what if, and I understand that. But imagine how much crow everyone's going to eat if Kaepernick comes into Texans and just picks up right where Deshaun Watson.
That'd be fantastic. I'd actually like
He's the best fit for that offense, and they actually, in the division they're in, they have a shot.
Yeah.
They're absolutely.
It's sad. It's crazy.
This is a crazy world. Why wouldn't you try to salvage the season? You got to look at the big picture, and you leave the stuff. Don't trip over stuff in the rearview mirror. Let it go and sign Kaepernick.
Don't let the
nobody wants to be in the headlines. Nobody wants to sign Kaepernick and be in the headlines.
If they don't turn it around, their season's over anyway.
Because literally,
their season's done anyhow.
Yes.
No.
The Bucks have given up.
This is swing for the fence.
All right, guys. So we got to.
So let's mark
this week's game
news. All right, let's start with the grievance about A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron is in the 4th year, and he was a 5th-round pick, so we only have him for 4 years. However, he was on the IR, or the non-able-to-perform list, whatever the list was. He was not activated until late, I think it was late December. That first year doesn't count against the other 4.
He played in the spring games and in preseason games, and that's what he's saying.
There's going to be a hearing. It'll be ironed out by March. But from when you and this is Mike Florio, because he's the contract attorney, not me, talking. He said from the letter of the rules, he's a restricted free agent, which means the Bengals can put a 1st-round tender on him or a 2nd-round tender, and then we already saw Tino's willing to pay a 2 and a 3. Why wouldn't they slide him to an offer sheet and give up a 2?
It's Danny Warfel light. Please.
I'm just listen.
Name me the last Alabama quarterback that's ever done anything in the NFL.
Well, here's the thing, right?
We said that about Cal quarterbacks for a long time, and then Aaron Rodgers came out, and now Jared Goff. So we used to.
Goff is looking a monster.
Here's the thing: you literally were your team was just about to try and sign A.J. McCarron when you just also said that you didn't want another quarterback coming in because you were tired of the flip flop. So I mean, which one is it?
Right. We're tired of the flip flop, and we're not going to waste a 2nd and a 3rd round.
Well, you actually were.
You were about to.
You know what?
You said Sashi Brown didn't sabotage it, but you were going to spend a 2nd.
Yeah, like I said,
I'm just saying, the market's kind of been set. There are teams that will give.
My argument has flip-flopped. I understand that. Okay?
There are teams.
But you know what? I don't know of a single team out there that's willing to give up a 2nd and a 3rd.
You were.
We were. But you know what? Unfortunately, it didn't happen. there are other teams on this couch that could use
But
him.
the question here was, is he restricted or unrestricted?
Yes.
That will be resolved. That will be resolved by March. That will be resolved by March. If he's restricted, the Bengals can put a first or a second round tender on him and get a first or second round tender from a team that signs him to an offer sheet. So that's the grievance. It's basically, that's just contract business law. I understand McCarron signing the grievance. I do the same thing in his shoes. This is just the business of the NFL. So
what happens if he loses his grievance? You guys franchise tag him for a second or third round pick.
We don't franchise tag him. It's we sign him. We put a tender on him.
Wrong choice of words. You tender him. He says, "Hey, you know what? Go fuck your guys. I'm not coming into camp."
No,
that's fine. Then he doesn't play anywhere next year.
Okay, then what happens?
And we're no worse off than we were.
No, yeah, you're no worse off than
we were.
You're stuck right here talking and
bitching
about it.
Let's not talk about it. So that, well, you wanted to talk about the AJ McCarron. I'm saying this is the grievance. We'll know. We will know before the draft where we're at. Hopefully before free agency. It'd be nice if it happened before free agency. In terms of our preview, we're playing the Tennessee Titans. It's our second of our 3 road games. Our third one's coming up against Denver, which is kind of a mirror image. I mean, their offense is as inept as ours for different reasons. So that'll be like looking in a mirror kind of game in 2 weeks. But, you know, I have no reason to believe that the Bengals will win this game. The defense will come out and play well and keep us in the game. I mean, we were in the last game. It was 13-6, 7.5. Even after in the third quarter, it was 16-7. It wasn't until the punt return, our special teams blunder, which followed an inept performance by our offense. So the offense is kind of dragging the other 2 units down. That's just the nature of a bad team and bad coaching. You know, so I don't have any reason to believe we would win this game. I will say Tennessee wins this game. How about 20? I'm going to give our defense a little credit, so I'll say 22-7. That's it.
27?
Yeah.
I think you guys are actually, I think it's going to be like 23-17 for you guys. Because, I mean...
And we still lose.
But, no, but here, you still lose, but the reason I say that is because I think that the Titans, from what I saw in the Ravens game, their second half, they're never as strong in their second halves.
Our second halves are non-existent. We will play. The Tennessee Titans can go to the locker room with the confidence of knowing that they will see the exact same game plan they saw in the first half. There will be no adjustments, and you make your adjustments, and you will be successful. And if you go into the locker room with the lead, which you probably will, then the game's over at halftime, which is what I've been saying for the last few weeks. 20-7, Tennessee wins.
Cool.
All right, so we got the Lions in Detroit. We're the 10 o'clock or 1 o'clock, depending on what coast you are. Their guys, Golden Tate, you got to watch out for. He's the long threat there. 50 catches, 562 yards, 2 touchdowns. Their end zone guys, Marvin Jones, 33 catches, 515 yards, but he's got the 5 scores. Watch out for Riddick. He catches the ball out the backfield, and Abadola's their guy up the middle. Glover Quinn's the guy to watch out there on defense. Guy's got 41 tackles with 3 picks, and Anthony Zettler, he's got 5 sacks, so we got to make sure we're applying pressure on him, making sure he doesn't get through, to give Kaiser some time to make the throws. Detroit has a +6 in the turnover ratio, and they're tied for second in the NFC North at 4-4. They're chasing Mini at 6-2, and they're tied with Green Bay at 4-4. I don't think they're going to win the division, and I think the Browns pull off the upset this week, 27-25. Wow.
And it's Abdullah, not Amendola. That's the running back.
Abdullah. Yeah.
It's Abdullah.
No worries. So 27-25.
27-25.
Cool. All right, so Ravens are on a bye, so there's no game for us, obviously. But
so you win.
Yeah, exactly.
You win the week.
If everybody else loses, we win the week. So that being said, a couple things. I really want to see, like, whenever there's a bye week, I always pay really close attention to media matters. Like, what are they saying? What are they not saying? Like, what's going on? And I'm really just kind of keeping an eye on that, because I think that I have a feeling that there is a shakeup due to be had soon in the Ravens organization whenever it comes within the offensive coordinator perspective. And I don't know that that's from the offensive coordinator, and I don't know if that's from the actual lineup itself, but there's been some rumblings of a lot of unhappiness about a lot of different things. So I'm curious to see what happens during this bye week.
You think if this season progresses even worse, that Harbaugh's head's on the chopping block?
I was just going to ask that question. I think it has to be considered.
I do too. I mean, he's got what, 1 or 2 Super Bowls under his belt.
He's got one. He's got one. I mean, he's got a winning season, but I think that there's some. I don't think it's going to be Harbaugh though again on this year. I think again it's going to fall back on offensive coordinator. And the interesting thing is that there is talk, and this is just a baseless rumor, but there is talk about Kubiak making a return to offensive coordinator somewhere, which would be great for us because we love what he did in Baltimore, and Mark Trestman has screwed us for like years, but. Basically, that's all I've got to say on that. Is like it's a bye week. Pay attention to what people are reporting this week for the bye week because it could be interesting. That's all I got.
All right. So, you've
made coaching moves at the bye week before. So
all right. So, we've got the Colts this week. We go into Indy, and
you have a bye week too,
right? Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett is going to be your best offensive player.
But what I will say is the history, especially after the last 3 years, we have played at home 2 of those games, and we've gone into Indy 1 of those games, and we have blown them out in all 3 of those games. And in Tomlin's press conference, he was saying that like. They've almost become, for the Steelers, Indy has almost become kind of like a division rival game because we play them so often since 2002.
Both teams that I hate.
We've played them so many times, and we know their system, they know our system, but Ben's always good against Indy for some reason, and they don't have Andrew Luck this week, but we have Ben.
Or this season.
This is true. So what I'm interested to see this week is the adjustments that we make for the run game because they've got Frank Gore. Frank Gore, no matter what, is a really good running back, and he's the one. He's old, but still, he knows how to. For some reason, he's
just that old school tank.
He is. He really is an old school tank, and he knows how to get through. He knows how to get through our D line sometimes. So he's usually the best. He's usually the best player that we have to go up against. Him and T.Y. Hilton. But I'm not sure how well Brissett has been finding Hilton, but Hilton's a downfield threat.
Threw 2 touchdowns to him last week,
Did he?
long ones.
Okay. So I didn't get a chance to see that.
Words out of my mouth, sir.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, I'm interested. I think Hayden will probably end up lining up with Hilton, so we'll see what happens with that. With Ben not throwing the way that he's been throwing, I think this is going to be a little bit of a closer game. I'm going to go ahead and say... 23-17 Pittsburgh.
Just go more than that. No Vontae Davis. All you have to do is shut down Doyle, and the rookie running back is your concern. Marlon Mack. So you shut down those 2 guys.
But, I mean,
bad offensive line, bad defensive line.
I would say a lot more, but we haven't been putting up those kinds of points. And this is the first game after our bye. Right. So I'm going to go with a conservative number, and I'm going to say 23-17 Pittsburgh. I mean, we could wind up blowing them out like we have in the past three years. And it could wind up being 45-20, but I'm going to call 23-17.
I would really want to watch their defensive line against your offensive line because, while I totally agree, I think that you guys are going to win this. I don't know that Ben escapes without a sack or 2 on him.
Oh, I agree with
that. Especially in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it depends on who's in that line. It depends on if we've got people back, and it depends on if, it depends on if Vernon Davis is back, because Vernon Davis has been, he's been really nice for us, or not Vernon Davis, why am I saying Vernon Davis? Vance McDonald. Vance McDonald's back, because if Vance McDonald's back, then he's up there helping with blocks. He's up there opening holes. If him and DeCastro can keep opening holes, and if Villanueva's on his game, we'll see. Like I said, it's the first game after the bye.
I fully expect you guys to win this, but I also think that that second half is going to be that may be an interesting film study wise be interesting. That's about it.
It's a soft opponent. It's a nice opponent. And it's a soft road.
But I mean, we've had soft opponents before, and then
they through and down to the competition.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. Right. I've got a list of new subscribers.
Oh, wow. Thank you, every new subscriber.
All right, we're at 649, so if you want to be number 650, hit that subscription button. Steve Lynch.
Hey, Steve.
Garrett. Nice. Funktian.
Function.
Function.
All right. Brian McHugh.
Yeah.
The Undertaker 937.
Undertaker 937.
Jam RTV.
Jam RTV.
Latanya Herman. Will Starr.
Will Starr.
I can't read what I wrote. My fingers are
Brendan Dermick.
There we go. Thank you.
Dermick.
Miley. Jonah Campbell. Christian Allison. Steel 74.
Yeah, Steel.
BTD Entertainment.
BTD Entertainment. Thank you, BTD Entertainment.
Michael Mitchell Madden 1. K Rhodes.
Rock on.
Aaron Justice. And Doo-Wop Bands, The Truth Seeker.
Doo-Wop Bands, The Truth Seeker. I love that.
Thank you guys very much for subscribing to our channel. We really do appreciate that, and we really enjoy you guys commenting and us commenting back at you guys.
Please do.
We'd like to thank Rocco's.
Yes, we want to thank Rocco's for hosting us here. We are located right now in the Studio City one.
Yep, Rocco'sTavern.com.
If you are in Studio City at about noonish on Wednesdays, more than like
hit us up.
Yeah, come check out the show.
On Twitter at AFC Northerners, right there, and also AFCNortherners@gmail.com. You can also hit us up individually. BengalsGuy at AFCNortherners.com, BrownsGuy at AFCNortherners.com, RavensGuy at AFCNortherners.com, and SteelersGuy at AFCNortherners.com.
Also like to thank a couple of guys that we work with in conjunction. I've got this one, Noob Football Podcast.
Word.
It's Jose.
That's
He's
Jose.
a Ravens guy.
Please check his out.
He's good.
Yeah. New Stripe City.
New Stripe City. That's our Bengals guy. Check him out. Superfanstyles.com. What is it? 20.
It's AFC North 20.
For 20%, you can find it right here.
All right, guys.
I think we've covered all the plugs and all that jazz. Anybody else?
I think sign off as we always do.
Yeah.
With
Fuck Marvin Lewis. Fuck Marvin Lewis. That's my new sign off. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
And here they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. AJ Green throwing punches.
You don't punch the helmet, number one.
They just showed the replay on the board here. The fans see that AJ Green threw punches.
And so the officiating crew is not supposed to look at the replay board.